Tongge doji shaje reson ron shinja mata doja ponjam ba sirje lombo tabar jipeka shaje jabe jodongo jonzo dojin janje delo naro dang maba mala chuje gambo ba pamo drba jawan drgong Kaju lama nanje da jonje danan dana zara tamje da lama laba la jizo zong Lobzong yunde nyamzong alawan dunje donjen rebe gele zo dage lo chuzon rawar zinje labdo sor ju lamdan rawar zinje labdo zo lan rawa sewar zinje labdo sor Drba yi zan jawar zinje labdo zo Kanga dinjen rawar jong gaba me ba je ba me ba ta me ba wa me ba ro me ba ta de do me don je me Drba nye je den ba zubu zanje manan je dan ba de la jan za do Zhenjen za ba lama je kusong do je zilan da 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 ge ju lan pu de Dage dimba dan zhenjen je don ja jen bon de bra zhenje la do zo Nongka tang nyambi sunjin tamji dinde lana me bar yang daba zubu sanje je gompang rumbo je tobar sha. Di chu de dambi chu ganki sinde dong nyamsi langwar jiwo nyambi samba chancho chu de semji ba tang. Chu nyimbi kunju tang kulong manarba goni simbar tsal. Tela gang simbar sabi chu ne. Jobanji din sumjung gongbo teni jinze pe tamchu gongba jikpa dorji song jada ngap chu dani ji tere teni te ta tara dorji song juk jikpa tela toyores
Again, cultivate a motivation of bodhicitta, thinking that I'm going to listen to this Dharma and then engage in its practice in order to establish all sentient beings limitless as space and a state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. And so cultivate such an unmistaken motivation as you listen to the teachings. And the teachings you're listening to is a teaching text by Lord Jikten Sumgön called The Single Intention, the Gong Chik, consisting of 150 Vajra statements. And now we are at the statement 11.
Tanda dorji sonde simzam kai tadar uma tun so ndere de kapsata simzam pasina gangri de je ha go yore de ha ko si bala tene namba sanje bala chumtha kachu yewa kachu yore de chungse ha ko na yabo yore samsa jimsing gang la shuna simzam ba shi ba de chumtha ye nang ge yajar chik cha de yo ba ro ba de ndu tingmi jibra nawa tang ndode pas tikpa chimbola simzam ba tang uma ba sin tena ka chumtha ye yo ba re de ye nang ge da na tikpa chimbo de la simzam ba tang uma ba sendu simzam ba hi Jugubi Jimsing Kare Shubaina Jira Semsamba Degi Nawatamje Semskeling Yuba Dijimsing la Dine Ade Semsamba Shebaris.
So the 11th Vajra statement says, the Buddha's instructions that teach mind only reveal the middle way. And so in this context, it is, I feel it is good to understand the what the mind only or the Chitta Matra actually is. So in order to understand that, it would be good to have some idea about the divisions of the tenet systems. So of the 4 major tenet systems, the mind only is 1. And so the 4 consist of 2 vehicles or 2 systems belonging to the lesser vehicle, and that is the Vaibhashika and the sutra followers. And to the Mahayana, the higher vehicle, there we have the mind only and the middle way, the Madhyamaka. And so regarding the mind only school, it is referred to as the mind only school because here it is asserted that all appearances are mind.
Simsam badege nangwa sims ke lindang de kandandori shubaina. The kunji or kunji tender the Pakchana sobaji yasundu. The Pakchana soba de re in the seum balatine, then slog your damada nangwa inari. I'm told that to Bala Subak Kandar, Zangi Nawa Tamji, Kunjiting Pakchaya Seum Batele Nang Yoris, Tandashir, Tande Naranzo Namju Kunzambo Mulan and Yoba Deni, Dito, Deni Des and Rawanda or Yundoa.
And so in like how is it that mind only school asserts that all appearances are mind? It is that we speak about the all ground consciousness, the alaya consciousness, and within this basis, this basic mind, we place various karmic imprints, the karmic traces, and then as they each awaken, they manifest as all sorts of diverse outer appearances or sounds to the ear and so forth. So in brief, whatever the appearance is, whether it is positive or negative, all appearances are the imprints that have been activated in the mind and are manifesting before us. So that actually is quite similar than how it is explained in the Samantha Vajra prayer.
Then the symptom but dela young Nancy sir Eva New Baris. Symptom Nam Dim Ba Hibajitang, Nam Dim Ba Shibatung Kari Shubaina. Jikten Seum Bake Bakcha Ya Se Undu Deke Nazi Ke Lo Darati Penararik Shibararik Ransar Kelinger Nigak Tender Kararing or Nangu Nawa Zamte Tene Dimbar Keling Yoris Nawa Zam the Dimbala Kelindu Korang Tondam Dimbanda Wajal Kelindu Nam Dimbas. Then the Kunjuga Ten Nang Yomberg Nang Bakcha de Dang. Tin Nanzig Lo Deni Korani Ze Yin the Madaba, Deni Tade the Miba, Koran Nangwa the Zumba that the Nangba, Tongo Tola Madaba, Zumba that the Nang Pujum Singe, Nam Zumba Sin, Ten Simsam Padala Nansis, Ewa Nis Chabaris.
So the mind-only school is divided into 2 different kinds. One is the true appearances and one is false appearances. Those who follow the true appearances is that they assert that, from the all the basis of all, the ground consciousness, the imprints placed within that consciousness, when they awaken, then appearances manifest. And what manifests from manifests to clear knowing awareness. But it is a mere appearance. But even though it is asserted to be a mere appearance, it is also accepted to be true. So the appearance is considered to be a true appearance, and therefore it is the true appearance. And then the false appearance is that when these imprints arising from the ground consciousness manifest, then here one realizes that the appearance itself and the mind to which it appears are not separate and lack any inherent existence. And therefore the appearance is a false appearance and lacks inherent existence that is self-sufficient. And so therefore it is referred to as a false appearance.
Da jirtang tandak simzan ba ke rangrik keling ke yori tedi rangrik shiba de kare lakwa yori sina shiba korang ha kondo ba perna nga ke make zok tong du nge ngarang ke make ki de zok tong do san ha ko sa jingkin je yorwa tela soba ke gong ke wang bu shiba mayin bar tene shiba korang ke teng no rang sar ju de korang la ha kon dong kin ke shiba je kelen te din rap de kelen tana de simsam ba ji te chitang ke tana ro je kelen ge yore ten de la wa ma ba ke chor te gaba ja je na re de la dolang ji nang du tene da dere shiba rang sar sen je din rap je yu tab yo ma res kains ne shiba korang rigia je yung yo ma re perna radek so katse no poina korang top ko mandawas marmi u jetar sarpo ina ya marmi u korang la sare ad se ke yo marwas ta ti number do thoni gang tar yang dimba trip rang rek ji yo mare sin sondu teni chitang do tang do in ta de namjo pae lo che ji se da namjo ba ke lo top ne ba che chong ke teni lo goma tham ji ke teni lo ju de se min ba tham je ran yin ke ser ji no ne sen ko jum sin hien de teni ko jum sin de hien kin lo de chia de so lo jum sin hie ju ya ga yo zang ta tan do ko to ne teni 간다르 좀 다 공 조당대 단답에 차송 알아 봐.
So generally speaking, what the mind-only school generally asserts is the existence of a clear self-knowing awareness. And so this self-knowing awareness is that like your consciousness, your awareness knows itself. So for example, when you see form, there is a knowing awareness that knows that you're seeing form. So it is not in a sense of seeing a different object, but it is knowing oneself. Awareness knows itself. And so this is asserted to truly exist, this self-knowing awareness. And that's generally accepted in the mind-only school. And that is a point that is rejected by the middle way school. There's a lot of discussion about this. So here it is said that there is no way that self-knowing clear awareness possesses true inherent existence. And that they say that is because, for example, awareness cannot truly self-knowing awareness cannot truly exist because, for example, if you have a sword that is very sharp, no matter how sharp the sword is, it cannot cut itself. Or you have a butter lamp, no matter how bright it is, it cannot illuminate itself. So therefore, self-knowing awareness lacks inherent existence, lacks true existence. And so, so in the different tenet systems, the higher outshines the lower. So it is like a yogic practitioner whose mental capacity exceeds another practitioner's capacity. In the same way, the tenet systems, which are higher, naturally outshine those which are lower. And that is because those which are higher have better reasonings to share. So that naturally puts them higher. That's how we make these classifications of the different levels.
Dara semzamba ze pasien de je o ka hil drumta je yusarwa semandaw je zine yama yabe jine ngaran su nima re ke chownand lalin sobdu manana jetar nawan da rang sem si tambo telecom yang se san tang o dar gombo lo dog sumba na yinke rinchen semle cherjurbe Sanje mi jing sem ji mi si gang dar yang sem rang ri ya samba ke dana ga tolo lo de jang ne da sem de rinchin sem le cher jurbe dislo la pa de le yimba se rinchin sem le semba de le yimba dene sanje de sem jin zu yo ma ri song ra sanje mi jing sem ji mi sem krang yin song sem dening around so now atom je sem yimba la lo jang je da now and the rang sems deni sem yimba ha go ran tu undu deni da zang ge cho hin de ma ya ba je ne sem ni dun de ben ta ta se da sem koran la de je ba dang da sem koran dambo gang ni ji Dini gangdun ne, dini gangdun ro. Tanga su dzogchin chakchin tu su nyamlin chi dia rang gong yora gom ja dia sem korang la ta ne. Ten dia rang rin disu na ne yunglong disu na ne. Dia rang song go ri. Teni dambo ne pa gangdun ne, roa gangdun ro, ne ju rek sum za nam jun che ki wa gangda. Tela so ba ke tap che je ne. Teni simni du ne druban ta da ta. Teni hi ne zong 다 셈데 마지바 망가바 mnepa te tabaran yin tekonani kenelodi hindu teni yela mezi jarse lalin sondu janso sambatam je ken nyamni teri sondo teni chakchin molan sondu yela mezi chaja chimbo yin sonyo gore ko main do samandar ma to tenda indu teni ngatsundi yunglo ndo so cheni ji indu yunglo de logic la ya so so churkan de yana teni yongko mi ba inzang yonglok dang su su semni derne tanda nang te ji hi ba na teni yonglok tamje dangwa de ran kharba nyamni de ran yin ge yong ge yorwa.
And so one might think, oh, this mind-only school and so on is just one of those tenet systems, philosophical systems. But actually it's something that in our daily lives, each and every day in our practice, we actually practice. In the 37 Bodhisattva practices, it says, appearances are one's own mind. That is what we first have to practice, habituate. Nagarjuna said that aside from the precious mind, there is no other Buddha externally. So the mind itself is Buddha. So first we train the mind in that all appearances are mind. And so once we have understood that, and we won't just let it be with that understanding, but also then that quote continues. So appearances are one's own mind, and mind itself primordially is free from elaboration, so free from extremes. And so then here we meditate on the fact that the mind is not arisen from anywhere. It doesn't abide anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. So here we look into where it comes from, where it abides, where it goes to. So actually this practice here is just the same practice of Mahamudra Dzogchen that we usually do. We are looking at the mind. And so this is also explained here in the text. We are examining the mind, where it is, where it comes from, where it will go to. So appearances are one's own mind, and mind itself primordially is free from extremes of elaboration. And so then knowing this, not to engage in subject-object duality is the Bodhisattva's practice. So when one recognizes the suchness of the mind, the nature of the mind, in that it is unarisen, unabiding, and unceasing, then that is called in this text the Bodhisattva practices, in the 37 practices. And for example, in the Mahamudra prayer, it says not to engage the mind, and so on, is Mahamudra. So here just Mahamudra is exchanged for the word Bodhisattva, but it's otherwise the same. So this is how we comprehend instructions in the text. So there is no point in having the text with you like for a year. From that alone, the understanding will not arise. But you have to know how to really connect to the meaning of the text with your mind. And so then the instructions explained in the text will naturally become part of your practice.
Tanda when some down Suzuka Simkan Surgeon, Tanda Ongo the Matoke, they married do, then lean under with Hingnan in Chan. Then Shenka here, then lean part of Tarne, then junior border the Dolan John, Dolan John, Hing Dolan John. Then that go Dolan John, then they call Nimaja Chan or Yarims, the color Yaga Lomakan, Jia Yomarwa, Munetan, and then Tenant cha sindu, dona yi cha sindu, da, Kusanji is in Namkan and Pondokuna, de Bazo, Karma Jil Jetokoyomari. Teni does Simjin Tamji Dong Harne Ben, Susungela Simajuma Tamji Long, Deduna, Hinji, Kitchik me ba. Ta Yar Sanjela Tepa me man in Son and Hinji me, but Tanda, Jake, Chandu that dona was set at there, Lagoya, the Tanaunza. Da soso kene chu katse topna toba keje tenda sauna dane soso simtola de ma jartabya de chu korang no dang ro je ta nenga je chado yorwa.
So the teachings have to really be applied to the mind. Otherwise, one becomes like a tree or wood that is deprived of any moisture. So if that happens for a long time, then eventually the wood turns into a stone, like a rock. So then when that happens, then no more branches or leaves can grow any longer. It must become like a stone. And so being like a stone, even if one says this is the Buddha and he's flying in the sky, you would not cultivate any devotion. And even if you see the suffering of sentient beings, you would just see it as illusory and would not even cultivate compassion for a moment. So then becoming someone without devotion and without compassion makes you be like a stone, like a rock. So what this is to say is that all the Dharma teachings that we receive, we have to really reflect upon them and incorporate them into our mind. But this is really the crucial way of practicing the Dharma. Sampa Gombora, Disco Private Session.
Jamba Gomboke, Gang Yi ne, Yi Zusut Mokanjik Sem Tony, Yi ne, Chula Dangzi Ba, Della Tabakalayus, Chula Dangwa, Della Tabakalayus.
So if one does not understand the qualities of the Dharma, then very quickly one might develop like an aversion against the Dharma. Maitreya had also said that like for someone whose mind has turned against the Dharma, how can there be liberation for someone like that?
Das Semto le Chu la Chu Yundin Ha Go Yumi de Chu la Droa Yumi Titone Bato Yorwa Barbu Se Mazujangs Kado ni le Droa Shi Servana Yinke
Tian Blung Chirve.
Tade Sabin King Sarva Sajapen Dagleje. Seus Sito Nazoga Drevetandaji Mazujang Pa Kadol Taju Kongarmon Stupon Hakondo Sita Tendanyi Kuchula Dronang Chongrondova. Tenu Chukuton the Kable Jam Tapa. Tatanda Rin Sadu Tatambo Chupa Sarbajina or Kayo Mari Chuge Nandon the Yundin so Hirahama. Da Chu Gan Gansan Chu Nyamlin Dang Lobjong Jets the Tarong Chu Sin Chu le Ganang Jinan Harandu De Munetan Dene Da De Susuk Simju da Chu Dam Mandibetan or Chayong Yuro.
And whether or not one has understood the qualities of the Dharma can be seen by whether or not one experiences joy and kind of a delight when practicing the Dharma. Sakya Pandita had said in the words of advice, he said that the sweetness of a fruit can be one can imagine the sweetness of a fruit by looking at its color, and so similarly you can see whether or not your mind has really merged with the Dharma by looking at whether or not you are able to experience joy in the practice of Dharma, and also your ability to endure difficulties. Of course, if one is a new practitioner, then it is understandable if they have not developed these qualities because they are new to this and they don't yet understand the meaning and the quality of the Dharma. But someone who has already practiced and studied the Dharma for quite some time, if they still do not experience this delight or enthusiasm when they practice the Dharma, then that's a sign that their mind has not yet mingled with the Dharma.
Then the Kantar Narang Maltanda library te Narang na Chipari Yaje Tong Gong Kinji Chaki or ten Narang Sama Tandabin Yamdala Yaje Tung Toyake Rewa use Tenita Dicabs Simsantum Bakani Samsung kayan thadar ma tong zon da di yong nandong de la teni garisung ko yore hibayina teni yang jirtang ki yitson rawo jigla Samsung ba dang wo ma ba si ba de hajang thade ni de kele ne teni da Samsung ba ne我们家人，我们送这个家的个，上这家的个，心脏把个家，心脏把过了，这样老有嘛的，是当多那等到到那把头呢，引起有的是，他等等就等什么样公布个送的，他心脏把东西个家个我们东到说呢，得送去。
So the reason for saying this is also that it means that we have some room for improvement. I'm the same and we are all the same. I would hope that we all will improve our practice. And so here this verse, the Buddha's instructions that teach mind only, reveal the middle way, is the response to people's claim that the instructions of the middle way and the instructions regarding the mind-only teaching are different. And that is basically saying that the mind-only teachings are actually not included in the words of the Buddha. And Jikten Sumgön refutes that point and says that the middle way itself actually teach on the mind-only school.
Then the Samsung don't baga te career is in do de Lankar Shikpa, do Lankar Shikpa, Tere, Tina na Carison Yursina, Samsung done Topa Tang, Ngubo Tamje Nam Salve, Chur Topa Nando de Lam de Nin Woma also. Then they get Samsung don't baga in Bakanjila. Tadago Martin Yoris and take the up.
So that there's one quote in the Lankavatara Sutra that proves the point that the Buddha's instructions teach the middle way, the mind only. And so it says in there, by realizing phenomena to be only the mind and removing every notion of outer substantial reality, one turns away from the thought of outer phenomena. This path is the middle way.
Teni dea nang yin ke jatsa sam jambang gombo ke kare song yursina sem le yin mi pa ne lu rei nes ten ne sem jang mi pa ni to lo dang din be ni po mi rei nes ten me din ba chu ji yin lan nes. And the Jimajik there and all Samsung Tom Bakaki, Tarat Umatung Yorin, Taramatung Yoris.
So then there's another quote by Maitreyanatha, who says that that apart from the mind, there is nothing. That apart from the mind, there is nothing is understood by the proliferating mind, and thereafter it is also understood that the mind itself does not exist. The intelligent ones who understand that both are non-existent dwell in the sphere of reality that is free from that. So this quote also proves the point that the Buddha's instructions teach the mind only, also reveal the middle way.
Teni ta dewa na yin ke ta wama ke lopung ina pangkung papa lodobri kong sanji chomdin de ke long simba kachan shupa na yin re de teni kong yang teni tarate langkar hiba sonia long de tin yin dos tena yin zang ta te ke yang jumsi chek sung do
And then also, so the main like founder or master of the Madhyamaka, the middle way, is the master Nagarjuna. And as you mentioned before, the Buddha gave a prophecy of Nagarjuna's appearance. And so also here it is mentioned that Nagarjuna is predicted by mind-only scriptures such as the Lankavatara Sutra.
Teni dati wo de dorji song juni ba lobu kunzup ji jang dongji nu song dere da nela da jirdang yin ge yiba je na lobu kunzup ji ba de je da lo sinji lo ban da wo dong da le ga gan ma ta ba da wo je la dong da gan ji men ba da wo je la yi ge yo re si yina dorji song nan song de ta lobu kunzup de ga dong si nu ge re song do nan de dong si dang la yang de jimsin sarhe vi gol ne ong do poke ja mi shil ne char da ta
Ini ya masih ini inji sih.
nga poke mabul ne shi cha da yin ji mi shil ke chang mi shil cha no sa da ta nga ke kang mi cha poke ba je ken sa no
So then next there is Vajra statement number 12, which says wrong relative truth too is able to perform a function. And this is the response to people's claim that wrong relative truth is not able to perform a function. So there are some who say that if it's a wrong relative truth, it also cannot perform any meaningful function. And Jikten Sumgön, in his Vajra statement, says that in fact this is not true. Even wrong relative truth is able to perform a function, and so now we will explain how.
Nan de la lopu kunzup ji dongji ne ba de dong zangi niga ji to go so dong zangi niga ji to ba de dong zangbo ji to be la kar yang do shu ba yin na zhibo wan su sara ha gi teni tun chang nang de tu ba nang de chang lo ne teni de la zi hian dang re de zo ge di zung ni de xiang de da rang de ne teni kong ge da这个gar la gro ngo ni to song re si chu tam je juma malang ta ngo ni to song re si di chani ko zi hian na zar de so re ra wa da khan do ya so di ki chö nang da na yo ma ba tu ba na yo ma re de da tu ba na khan do wa de kun zob ra wa ji re de le ti ne de ne ko ra 그 어떤 원이 또 숨바를 때 동상보시바당 자네리도 된 시바식라 동인바 징긴데 베나 쯔응압자게 된도와 롱노나 디게 제데 요로와 쯔응압자난게 되니 쯔 뿜보데게 다와 쳐나나 사다티 그 telengwa teni hingdong ka ne tu yimba ke chik chik la la ban ju tra che de teni ta malai bala hingdong ke ya ga cha tu chama chuna ma sa su sa che wa de da da chunang le khad de da wa te da wa ngu su ma re te chunang le da wa sa do sam ya go lo te ang lo sin je lo ba re sin je lo ba zin na lo tru wa re ri de korang te la ka che ba re so ne ti jim sen ke da 따라 뒤좀 신선하다네 로프 근접 진짜 동시는 저 동대니까 시기 요래서
So there's the wrong relative truth is able to perform two functions, good functions and a bad function. And to explain a good function that is performed by the wrong relative truth, there's an example by Saraha, the great master Saraha. And so the great master Saraha is said to have realized the ultimate reality or the primordial essence based on seeing the appearance of various reflections, such as a fruit tree in the garden, in the nectar in his skull cup. So what appeared in the nectar of his skull cup was a relative truth, was relative, like a wrong relative truth. But based on that reflection, he did realize the essence of the ultimate reality. So in this way, the wrong relative truth has actually performed a good action, but it has performed an action. And then one example of it performing a bad action is described in one of the Vinaya scriptures, where there's this example of 500 monkeys, the main of which saw a reflection of the moon in a well. And so he thought that the moon had fallen into that well, and so those monkeys then wanted to take the moon out of the well again. So what they did is they grasped each other's tail, and when they undertook to take it out, all the monkeys drowned and thus perished together. So the reflection of the moon in the well was not real. And so that was the wrong relative truth. It actually appeared, but it isn't real. And then the perception of the moon fell into the well, is a mistaken perception, a confused state of mind. And yet it did perform a function in that all the monkeys fell in and drowned. So it did perform a function, but it was a function, a bad action, like a bad function that was performed.
Pe teniri de ngarang so ge nima machine na ngus yong go yora yang pe na mache rida mache de ko angal gagmaris te ko nga ge dana yirindo sande na mate ge lu nga yi song ge ta kanta le ka le che ge ja hi che namje tin che de so so nu ji de ban ro nu che de ba jang ro ji cha no de teni yang mate arang thola Sumgön samno journey robo na ying du hi ya na yang chu to ne yang ma che jam chen ro ke na ba to ne de chen ba yin na teni mate ge je lunga yi song ge jawa che che dam je yang so so la pin ba ke jor de ba je ta de arang yong do ba de so cha ma gang da yang ko Tun dambang ngola mother par kunzum chua zang ngola landron ju do jin do yo ba tenara.
So these are just two examples, but for example, this is something that happens in our real life all the time. So for example, if there's a person that you don't like, then everything that person does with body, speech, and mind, everything they say will just irritate you. It will all be a harm to you, a nuisance. But when you change your mind toward that person, and the person becomes your friend, then your whole perception has changed. So if you regard that person as someone that you feel love towards, then whatever that person does with body, speech, and mind becomes beneficial and positive to you. So in reality, none of it possesses true existence. But so it all is a temporary, wrong, relative perception, and yet it performs various functions.
Chlo ni lamsang tan ro ji ji ne namjor tanda jong ma je ma ja ba je ne so so sam la gang da gang yong kan do ji jong dan ro ji ji ne de tanda ji de ni ma ji le ko sam de tan ro ji ji en de de ni sam de tim bo ne to ya de ni yin ge je re da ta mang bo te je te re de ni da de ga na yin ge Dara dawa trakpa ke uman jokpa nana te song yore. Te lo la tu nichar dimba te dongsar tong la nika zumba yins. Te song de te lo la tu nichar dimba yin zon de. Te lo la tu nichar dimba yin zon de kunzo lo dara te sinji lo pa te korang kengo la pe na dawan tongsi ke lo te yang dimba re la de chunang dawa de dimbaris de lo la de ni char dimbai dongsan tong la ni ga zumbai se ta dong tol sam tang wai na ne chunang de tong dong kin ke dawa dang da tong ding chunang tong dawa tong dong ge de dang tong si ge lo de dawa de ni zam ma ze ngarang zo ge ngus nang kha la dawa tong do ya de rang ngarang zo ge dawa tong si ge lo de ya Don Tambangola, then Zumbaris. Gains na Kunzabri was.
So this is something that we should train our mind in, even if we haven't yet really gained certainty with regard to various outer appearances. That we train our mind in that and see now what happens, what arises within my mind. And so this is how we train the mind until one day you really gain certainty in that and the mind abides with stability. Chandra Kirti had said in the Entering the Madhyamaka text that this relative, from the perspective of this relative misconceiving mind, the moon reflected in water appears to be true. So it is a truth to that mind. But if you look at it from the ultimate perspective, then not only is the moon reflected in water false, even the one who perceives it, the seer, does not inherently truly exist and is therefore false because it belongs to the relative truth.
Then taken Jukpa, woman Dawataba and Jukpa Randrana, song yore. The Kunzo de Jikten Akang Yobate. Ngai jang yo par yi to so kunzo zam da jikting patam je ke ta kare yo par khelin kare me par khelin ta landor te tar de bene yagins kunzo khorang ngo ni mothoni teni ta ton dam ba te jun jo go be jun sin kan sina teni Lopong Ligdinji sin a woman de la New or young woman ranju but an tanger pani sin tan tanger bate the Lopong Dawa Trapa, to soak a Taranko retan, Gopo Lodebrazo, Ranju Lopong de
Fisquata, Dawa Trapa, Lopo Lupo, and the Carasmusanda. This Nangaco Thompson, the Migiming, so love it over.
dawa chakpa shinda kirtirwa dharma kirtirwa te uma thanjopa ke tarati lo zungkin terwa ta til lo tankin terwa tarjena te yugavne gomba yinki de teni lobon legdinji zoyor legdinji konglong te la te son yor kong yanda kunzup namje ke mepar tundam kangchin je tengdon rowan do bala khela roma mainos ta kunzup te kare son shbaino kunzup te tundam do ba tozi ke tabris perna khangba je ke tengla andro go na ke go do se tina yi ke na yi cha de yoris teni ta hakko sa
Kyobpa suna hakoga mare mata kale suna kusari lungden so yila yomara so in a different text Chandrakirti also said that whatever appears in this world as existing or non-existing is the relative truth. And so then there's another master called Acharya Baba Viveka, and so basically there's two systems of the Madhyamaka, and Chandrakirti is the two systems are the Madhyamaka Tasvatantrika and the Madhyamaka Prasangika. And Chandrakirti is the one that the proponent of the Madhyamaka Prasangika. And so he said that about the relative truth, that whatever appears or not appears in this world is the relative truth. And then the master Acharya Baba Viveka says that the relative truth is like a stepping stone, like a ladder that leads one to the ultimate truth. So through the relative truth, one realizes the ultimate truth.
That dorjison juson bate. Dorjison juson bate lana tamje subject to bai. Subject to bate subject to bai. So cheesa. That's it. That's it. Jinda. The Bukunzo Jinja Donzin, then he lam, Jinny lam, subject about this. All right. Jinny lamna subject about this, and then the caps do dang or tambor soga. Shogda this go. Chukson bade. The ying yitzer the career is Chubaina. Jo person take baina sa jolang a do no go yoris. Dene yin yang ganza jikcher ba the rimchi ba je ni yog do jikcher de dene de trawa thon ro gi jikdang rimchi salam rimchi don thongkin se dena yawa seng do sen du jikcher ba de ina then subject is do go maris. Pacha na de nga zo di den na yo jambar chen jo na ra ke ke zog sang je ke ke che da se de dan din ang ke ke zog sang je se man ro ta di na man ro che yi ke sa ra den du 다 조반 직팅 숨군 그 도성 쪽선 바나나 람 탐제 사죠 루고리 송나 직절부 간사이나리 림치부 간사이나리 사죠 루고리 송
So then we come to the Vajra statement number 13, which says all paths advance through the 10 stages, which is a response to people who claim that the sutra path, vehicle of characteristics and perfections, advances through the 10 stages, but those who enter awakening at once do not. So there's a twofold division. There's two kinds of individuals. There's those who realize instantaneously, which refers to those who awaken at once here. And then there's those who awaken in stages, so gradually. And so those people claim, therefore, that if one belongs to if one is an individual who is an instantaneous realizer, who can enter awakening at once, then such an individual does not need to advance through the 10 stages and the 5 paths. And the other one would have to advance through them. Also for example, in the Manjushri Namasamkiti, expressing the names of Manjushri, it says, in an instant, you are a complete Buddha. It is just the question of an instant. And so, Jikten Sumgön here refutes this statement that there are those who enter awakening at once and who do not have to advance through the stages and the path. And he says that everyone has to advance through the stages and the paths, the 5 paths and the 10 stages. So even someone who is an instantaneous realizer has to advance through these stages and paths.
The or Dambo Sat got Kyobpa. Then it's down no parsing the Bolola that the Sabjos in Sumgön. Then the Sabjo Tinsake Young de Dinju woman Jukpa Nayang Saturday in the 13 Goyore. And then that take a Jeba Hueting Goyore, Teni and Dordu Zanje Hubaina Samsung. Teni de Satambo de la Rabda Gawas in Shugayore. The Tinzik Young de Teni Umanjupanana Gawan Dennis Norva Chusher Jiving does. Mumba Tupo Tamji number Sun Jar also. That's how the Borab the Gawa term do the counter that the Dripa. That Dripa answered the Sohianima, young younger counter the Capsule Satambo the thing of Barawa. That Satambo of the Gavas, the Pacheta Sati Pango Duno, young Galmani Sakin, main the Sobalayan. Satambol Rabda Gawa.
So first, with regard to the bhumis, or the grounds, the stages. So that is explained according to the sutra system of the paramitas that explains the 10 bhumis, and the main text explaining the 10 bhumis is Entering the Middle Way, and it explains it very extensively, but just to explain it in brief, the first bhumi is called utter joy, and so that is explained also in the nature of this bhumi in terms of the obscurations removed and so on, are also explained in this text called the Entering the Middle Way.
Satambara the Gawa Jilabsara. Tenisa Niba Drama Meba. Satsumba Wusiba. Sayaba Wunchua. Sayaba Wunchara. Nanjid Dunakun Jans. Sangaba Jankawa. Sangaba Jankawa. Bujar but the Jiwang by Duna Dan, go along with the Trukpa Rain the Song. The bang on the Sepa. Trukpa on the Sepa, on the Jepa Dumba Rain the Song. Goba Lepulo de Chupa Chuchiti, Jeba Miowa. That they sat joke, man, there.
Chupa Geba di Miowa, Tini Goba di Lepelodra, Tini Chuba
Chuchiti.
Chupitin. So the first one we have said was extremely joyful. Then the second bhumi is called the stainless bhumi. The third one is called radiating light, or like illuminating bhumi. The fourth one is called radiant. Fifth bhumi is called difficult to conquer, and the sixth one is called the manifest bhumi, and the seventh one is called gone far, the bhumi called gone far. The eighth one is called the unwavering bhumi, and the ninth is called the bhumi of good intelligence. And the 10th bhumi is called Cloud of Dharma.
And the Sajubo de Paradisimba Jodan Jarnadini Jubanana Yoris, woman Juban. Takandayan, the Sotamje Sa him dan du zo susok simge nyam the toba doso la tak yorba teni deso tendu da remji dugo gri son da jitin sungo te sungo yor
Gitchisung. This konga gitchisung kana karsung semlat nyam to lata gore teni.
nyam to toba doso jevar sibala sa doso rembe dugo go yori son.
And so those, according to the entering the middle way, this text, there it says that the 10 bhumis are related to the 10 paramitas. But in any ways, so how one progresses along those bhumis being seen through mainly one's experience and realization within one's mind. So also Jikten Sumgön had said that in order to gain experience and realization, therefore we have to progress through those bhumis.
Dan de yiba de la dere da jikchaba zo chikyu de jikchaba da remjiwa lam go yorowa de kon da jikchaba siwa de tene jarpo indab da bla tene wang ye geng rup ngobru thoba zamje tene chogeng rup ka kompang topsone sen da yonda de song go yorowa de song du teni da subject so kandab duko yore subject so dugo na wan yung thupa chamji drawa thwa teni manda bani do tin kwa tanda lin ro mayo yung ko yorwa ta teni ndikap so karir sina penna chi karir sina churang ko tulo mambo chi tse yo na telan da jam de tulo de la da de ke tulo de rempe ma me phung rogoris te nyup yina ko jobo nyupo hibe rogo yores teni tela pachera da jikchar wes in tani ta ko bata bje remjiwa hiba de ko kale yung ata te ta ba tone cheparche pachera teni semdo kapon ro chaga yores Seri lamn den ta chea yo mari.
So I said that there are two kinds of individuals: those who realize instantaneously and those who realize gradually. There's one well-known example of the king Indrabhuti, who was an individual who instantaneously realized. And so he attained the supremacy in this lifetime by only being introduced to the four empowerments. So very swiftly he realized. So one then might wonder how it is that when it happens instantaneously, so swiftly, how one then still progresses along the 10 bhumis. And that is, for example, just like shooting an arrow through a thick layer of clothes. So if you have like many clothes piled up and you shoot an arrow through them, the arrow pierces through them very quickly. So it seems that it pierces through them at once, in just a moment. But still, actually, if broken down, it does go gradually, layer by layer. It just happens very quickly that it appears to be instantaneous. And that is similar to one who is an instantaneous realizer. And then someone who gradually realize it is just a slower speed. So it is just piercing through the cloth gradually in a slower pace.
Do dubanana long the drink do give zawa jini yongsu mazo par desi toni damba dene top mizis denza da salam danji remji zogo gre song duzi Jikten.
And so there's a quote that proves the fact that one has to gradually progress through the bhumis and the paths. And so that comes from the Sanjaya Gatha. And there it says, for as long as one has not completed the roots of virtue, they do not obtain the most excellent emptiness.
Tasadalam the soyong Ramji do go sita di nandun te tarang tenia dorji song jugi badandina lam godwa tinana hien na bhajan dik sarwa jugi bad kare san lamram thamje lamram nga sem na lamram thamje thunje nyamne gu sete khada nderwa na lamram che zeda dena chul puye yomara
Yomara
lamram thamje
That's Tama Rimke Baris, the Nichike Bamidos of Ichatimara.
Re the not Zawa the young them but Zawa Cognan Sigura. Deang Rimjin Juparkona. Jinhi Lamna subject drop at the Deangs, Coron in Drive, but there in the Deang Rimjin Juparkona is that Deang Rimjin Jupa corners and his own Rajar and doing Dillo. Dara Jikten Sumgön ke gibala pachir da jikchar wasine jikchar wasiba the main taksa de sabju maduba sajubo madubu thoni tani keje je zopo sangjen ro keje yomare sene gong yetela gongne tani sungya de kare song yu koyorisina tene lam thamje yang remje do ne yong go ri sen ta te song go sarwa tene te yang remjin jo bar khonang is
And so this also shows that one has to progress along all the bhumis and paths gradually, and that actually connects to the next Vajra statement, number 14. That says one engages in all paths gradually. So in Tibetan actually also says only, one is only this graduated path. And so here Lord Jikten Sumgön must have thought that what we call an instantaneous realizer would be someone who doesn't have to go through the 10 bhumis and who just attains perfect and complete enlightenment in just an instant without having to go through those 10 bhumis. And such a person does not exist. And so to prove that, he says that one engages in all paths gradually.
Really, not that darans the Kyobpa the Derek. Gahegata Remjipa the Chikchawas in Yigre stay on that or Yi in the Goyorita in a young and then a lam tamje Rimjin Jopargitos on the attend lamta jerembe do go yoris ta remjin jog jang nyurwala remjin jogba tela yang jungken tela de yoro perna jajin namkhani pampar ro yona maji sa ton gangba jang ro ko yona korani rosa sacha jiglan ro go yorite roya dia ja dia rempe namkhani pampar ro yore ma dia rempe gangba jang sa ton ro yore rosa jigba lan ro go yorite ti ja de ngena lam ro go ro de da beje yongre song do
So some people claim that gradual engagement and all at once engagement are alternatives. So basically, this is the most common statement where it is said that there are those who gradually realize and those who instantaneously realize. But Jikten Sumgön says one engages in all paths gradually. For example, if a bird is flying in the sky and the person is walking on the ground. So the bird and the person are going to the same destination. The bird flies and the person walks, and they're going to the same destination. However, the bird gets there first because the bird flies. So it's similar to that, the difference between the instantaneous realizers and the gradual realizers.
Alright, that the long ju tani nani de long de gadrundo. Tani nang long de garer ndo sina. Tangbor sobjong jimbar jas. Tini tijela teju tijisa lapin ne junis lapa jimbala so barwa. Tini ti woni ta sebra batan dode na watan. Tini namjer ju batan. Teni uma bata namjer juba siba deste uma bata teni tejine ta je dorjine zamde teni namjer juba ta ngajiran ba kun hine sinata ti longje gangla dreva nan roson roja kantar nan de katoni teji grine nan de le yang nga lami de la jeta sebra ni se do ndrewa nang na to sola nga lami de la jeta sebra ni se ndu jirtang go wang de se na nga lami de la ya tanda jin rem ji yong go yore se nan de tambo ten de na
So then there's another quote that comes from Vajra Tantra. It says that first one practices the restoring and purification ceremony, and after that one engages in the stages of mantra. So then it's what it means is that one first engages in the practices of the purifying and restoring, and after that one goes into the various tenets up until the Madhyamaka, so from the sutra path to the Madhyamaka and so on, and then one enters the stages of the mantra until one comes to the unsurpassed Yoga Tantra, and within the unsurpassed Yoga Tantra there's twofold division, that is the general division and the specific division. And in the general division, it says that one must train in these stages in a graduated way.
Tanda chirdang aran soina dagja gatumba sangje tangte rimji bewang sen sangje yong ba ris chirdang gadan perna karchin trami somna cho sa pa la so ba ngun sum goni tenin 2% ba yong so ba nyam langte teni taran drewong on the se paris tanda che teni tara jarpo indram bodate nga go wang ying of tru taban zonde tene sangjen du dan de tabalan de he kanda we ja go yori shubaina de pamo trubake jikchen jubu ganza des cho sa sa bae ganza yin lam jang jang bae ganza yin nyam jiji bae ganza yin songdo de ke nando garesina tuso ke huma cho sa ba ngondu song lam jang ba ngondu song da ko sang je alan jin jik dan chena jema taba je we ne de ba de ta we je lang mun ji nang do perna hinto je hindong ga ne ma sa ro yo na tene tikala eni chatik ba je hinto de kala chatik ba je ma ja ba na te jin je den hinto de ma sa to go ra te ma da nam jin chatik ba je hinto kala ja ba ke hinto sa to go ma ra ina kapti de ko sa
Kara chu tu pa gishinda satu bere.
hinto yo hinto
Chu. Chu tek ba.
char ba la nan de sa char ba gun ro che chan ro che ja ba la tin ne nam jin hinto ga ma sa to ko ma de ko sa jin de zang ma to ba ki yin da jin cha ma chang de ba tin chan ro che ja ba den de ko ma sa to go ba o de da we jen ne tenda ngun da pam ba bak tenda yin zang dan de ina yang di want to see di yang ko salam hun ro go cha de yoris
So, in generally speaking, also the Buddha Shakyamuni himself actually attained enlightenment in a gradual way. First, he accumulated merit for 3 endless aeons, and then he practiced the sutra vehicle of paramitas, and in the end, he actualized the result. And so then, on the other hand, we have the King Indrabhuti, who attained enlightenment upon merely being introduced to the meaning of the 4 empowerments. So to explain that, as a quote by Pamodrupa, who said, a person who instantaneously realizes is one who has already completed the accumulations, who has thoroughly purified one's mind, and who has thoroughly trained one's mind, and who has thoroughly produced experience. So those that we call instantaneous realizers, in fact, have already in the past accumulated merit. They already have practiced the path. And then they simply encounter the last condition to attain awakening, and upon encountering this condition, they attain enlightenment. For example, it is just like a fruit on a fruit tree that is already ready to fall, has completely ripened, and then it just takes a drop of rainwater to fall upon it for it to fall down to the ground. But the raindrop only makes it fall because it already has ripened to the point of falling off and just needing this one condition of a raindrop falling upon it. And all the other conditions were already complete within it. So this is how Pamodrupa had recognized an instantaneous realizer. So, which means that also an instantaneous realizer has to go through the graduated path.
Tang dog want to send a tenable salam range do go about some mazepeke, Ngag want to see in the young do go your reason. Jitan long gang the drop simbari de yinaya lobum papa Kasone Chi per remember like nations. Chi ram le par ne ne ta chi ram ko dripsa tang tu chama chang de du. Ti wo de zo pu ramban du nam la ta zo ram ke nyam ni chi pan du ba nam la. Teni tham de zo pu san je chi teni ke chi ramba ta tin so ta ke ramba zon de teni si po chang do ko ram ji ro yo. Ta te ta ba chi ne teni nga ko wang se ba yin na yang salam ram ji do go yo ris. Te chirtang nga lo nga so ta music wang torzi ke ti min dor zon do o te ram ji do go yo ba. Teni tin rwa krang nang na te son pena chakchin tabla chaja chimbo tabla yang tene topa chikchar te chi chewate topa chikchar te chi song shibate hindu lawa la gungbari ma to lawa zina nyurwa la gungbari song tena song da
So this is how it is asserted through the sutra path and also according to the tantric path, that although it might seem that in some of the scriptures it says that one doesn't have to go through an instantaneous realize, it doesn't have to go through the stages and paths, but in fact one does have to go through them. And so that we have established through these quotes in the sutras and tantras. And then there's another quote by Nagarjuna, who had said that for those who are well established in the generation stage and aspire to the completion stage, the perfect Buddha has taught this sequential method that is like climbing a ladder. So as one climbs up the ladder, and meaning becomes increasingly clear. So in this way, gradually we receive the ripening empowerment and the liberating instructions and progress gradually on that tantric path. And even in the practice of Mahamudra, it is said that the way in which the instantaneous realization Mahamudra arises is actually also through a graduated path, but it occurs extremely quickly.
Dayang da sanje gongpang tup samari di ji rawo loya yo maris. Kains no sa lam yong su zo ba du go do sa da te che hyung gon do nang ro senang le harne tini te ke che da nge ji tup samari di da ni nye pe le lon ro tang. Da hyar si bari tena senra go yo mari. Chik je na ngaran zo dara damjir chi mil rinpo che te to ne namba sanje pa chu nyang ling chi he yu du teni je wa nga ma la cho mambo sa pa ke la ji ji ri ma do ke nga so che lor thap jang ro ke te mil to yom ba te na ma re wa te in sa je wa nga ma la cho mambo sa sim ba ke te na ke ngaran zo la ting ting te na chi cha de yo ri dan de indu ta ta ngaran zo ke di gang ni che zung ru ke te so so wa yin na teni che ji lu ji la sang je ya de no nga gang ne yang che ji lu ji la sang lak par tang ha la mi tik ba la che ji lu ji la sang je ya mi za wa nin sung ko yo ma re ngaran zo la pang bo mang bo yo re pe na ju zu me la re pa ta ba tang teni jar bo in ram ba ta la so ba tham ji che ji lu ji la sang je su ma re ten du ji lu ke le lon ra o te je ning ke yo ma re.
So, however, we shouldn't get like lazy in the sense of thinking that I can't attain enlightenment anyways because there's all these bhumis and paths I have to go through and it will just take too long. I just can't do it. So it's possible that we kind of fall into this laziness. It's called the laziness of self-deprecation. So you shouldn't worry about that because we have already obtained the precious human body, and we are Dharma practitioners. And this itself is a sign that in previous lives we must have already accumulated a great amount of merit, because we wouldn't obtain a precious human body just like that. We must have certainly already accumulated much merit in previous lives. And then if we actually would make an effort with diligence, we can attain enlightenment in a single lifetime, in a single body. And that is asserted in all the sutras and tantras, and in particular in the unsurpassed highest yoga tantra. That is explained extensively, and there are many examples. For example, Milarepa or the king Indrabhuti have attained enlightenment in one lifetime, in one body. Therefore, don't fall into this kind of laziness of self-deprecation.
Oi, tenita chongapa, dorsong chongapate. Hijidripa hund pangwang yuso. Dante yonda rawala. Tenidripa tamche nekta che. Dripa tamche zen, that dripa sumra wongun zinkiyore. Ledge dripa, nyumoba dripa. She's dripa sin. The dripa sumra wongun zinkiyore. Then the Koran Rampe pound, she's dripa de Jimal Payan Roche, the Nasunkyore. The she's dripa de Charak Chani Yang, she's dripa shibate. The Pankawa Lelapo Pangtoya Mibaji, the Nico Pachado Teng Sapoji Inzang, the Nico Driviate on Zochiku Tamchi Chimba Tabiala Dreb de Ubatan, the new Mumbak Drapata Vijina, the Tawa Tabala Subala Drevung Yoba, the Inzang. The Koran Chara Yokdang Tonia, Chepa Yunga Yorila, Jitang Keta, Hizibate, Gini Pango, Sunko Dan Dicapso, whom the Pama use, identical than the Huga in desert. On the Pansor.
So then next is Vajra, verse number 15. It says, it also occurs that one first abandons the veils of the objects of knowledge, and so the common assertion is that people claim that all of the veils of all the veils, one first abandons the karmic veils, then the veils of mental afflictions, and finally the veils of the objects of knowledge. So according to the general assertion, the subtle obscuration to omniscience is abandoned last, and one first abandons the obscurations of afflictions and karma. And so in terms of subtlety, the last obscuration to omniscience is most subtle and therefore most difficult to abandon. It is a very deep imprint. And what it obscures is, this obscuration obscures omniscience. For example, the other obscuration of the afflictions obscure liberation. So the obscurations of afflictions and the subtle obscurations of omniscience differ in their subtlety. And the common assertion is that the subtle obscuration to omniscience is abandoned last. But here, it actually says that the subtle obscuration to omniscience is abandoned first. So, and that is what I will explain.
Teni shiji driba ta nyumobu driba te jasab jambangu boku sone. Korsum number tokpa kangso. Teni shiji driba nduso. course on the number topic, Debatella, she's Deba song. Sena lasso son, the new mumba drop, 7 new mong drop, never new mong, nisha. Teni pa yen with the mambo yorova, tombang gomban lasso bug. Te tamda ganter Sena lasso, namdo ganten in your mong drapandus. That could drabani bote, Munzitan or Tenavaris.
So with regard to the obscurations, the obscuration of the afflictions and the subtle obscuration to omniscience, Maitreya had said that any conception of the three spheres is held to be an obscuration to a subtle obscuration to omniscience. And any conception, such as stinginess, is held to be an obscuration of the afflictions. And so stinginess and so forth. So there's the 6 main afflictions, and then there's 20 secondary afflictions and so forth. There's many divisions of afflictions. But in any case, this is how how Maitreya understands the difference between the obscuration of the afflictions and the subtle obscurations to omniscience.
Then his draba Tomar Pong Ayu, Shibande, Tambo, Ganik some tango is Naperna Gamboba, Malarebendun Paris, Malarebendun Pudu, Dini Malarebageta, Churangichu Ganda Gan Hikius on Ama Gandanawaris. Deni Gamboba Cholang Gabso, Ledge draba Pongwadang, Deni Jolam Jacobs, Numo draba Pongwadang. Tonglang Gabs, she's the Bapama, Golang Gambabin, Tandavin, the Soha go you, so. Then I shoot it in it, that Gypsy Malarabag. Then he's the Bangun Power, Dokuus only Nandoa, Gambala. The other chick band and take up, sir, or did it in it, Gambobag, ya conditioner. Then he's the Bangun, the Kandai Bangus on Yahudu. Ta his draba pangundu, his draba pangwa the nyamdola, nyumum draba tang, tarati, ledge drabani, draw or randar than drogeries on, nyam the pandogeries on, ta nyumu drabata, his draba nyam the pandoris. Tan dick up so young, Jikten Sumgön kikipa, ta terang la, some tong goyobaris, his drabata, Jimting at the Munes or Chadayor. Pena to load the gun trapa. Dragba taking trawa the tandu to logan get dragba ragba the ranking dan or cochini dawajirwa. Tinayi, she's draba hibate, dragba trawan dawari, numu but drabata so, dragba ragba dawajirwa. Tena yinza ko ta door under the jimsin teletine, Tangun the pangzo de Tambo his draba pang taron yumu drabajima la deva te paja yongamaris. Te paja yongomari. Ta nyam the pandoa. Namjur ko rembe solam jolam, Tara Gambo Bagus Shubana yin pando yubarite, Teni ta Kodor under the drop pama yoris, ta Gumba tickups, she's the pango the pama yu, Shibade, ta telegon quateta lingo yoris.
So it is said that, so therefore first the subtle obscuration to omniscience are to be abandoned. Regarding that, once when Gampopa came to Milarepa, then Milarepa asked him, so which Dharma do you know? And then Gampopa said, with regard to these obscurations, he said that on the path of accumulation, you abandon the obscuration of karma. On the path of preparation, you abandon the obscuration of the afflictions. And on the path of seeing, you abandon the subtle obscuration to omniscience. And then to that, Milarepa said, well, in fact, I hold that one first abandons the subtle obscuration to omniscience. And so then Rabopa asked Milarepa, so how does that work? How do you first abandon the subtle obscurations to omniscience? And then Milarepa replied that if you first abandon the subtle obscurations to omniscience, then along with that, the obscurations of karmas and afflictive emotions are naturally cleared away. They are abandoned on their own, together with the subtle obscurations to omniscience. And this agrees with the words of Lord Jikten Sumgön, and this actually really corresponds to reality. This is how it really is. For example, you have a dirty cloth, and if you purify the most subtle of dirt from the cloth, then naturally the coarse dirt will already have been gone, along with the subtle dirt. So it would not be the case that you just get rid of the subtle dirt and the coarse dirt is still there. And so similarly, when you abandon the subtle obscurations to omniscience, then since they're more subtle, the more coarse obscurations of the afflictions, for example, are naturally purified. So it's not that you get rid of the subtle obscurations to omniscience and then you still have afflictions left. That would not happen. So they are abandoned together. So normally it is said, as Khenpo had said, that we gradually abandon on the path of accumulation, on the path of preparation, and so on. But in fact, it is the case that when the subtle obscurations of omniscience are abandoned, then the other obscurations are abandoned on their own by themselves. So this is how we need to understand this.
Then they could drip out pang tang dang, drip out Gilet is on Azoka Hako go yore, the Khenpo Chade yore. Atang Azoka, oh, Nazo Gomjanki, so Diana, Tene, Jima, Tambalarepa, Gomjanki or Gomja, Jode de Ta, Gambo Bala de Pe, Kedop Nit Dimbak, Chimbo. The Raja Pern that didn't drop in on the Jusumalarepa link and things Chazoglo, Sabon, that the Sotam Jekung, Drapun and the Yodina Yang, Jepatan, Drapak the Gang, Karela Nukundo, Gang, Yamyong, the journey, and the three lane time Chatomiba, the Dacha do, then it Jola team and Kepa Jumdin days, Jumdin is a Shakatabaji Borgo, the Sanje Samar Jumdin the Rova. Then it Dachano go urite, not so Tandamaje by Nataje Matanga, Gomja means Pugi, they got some other. Then it Jola Menke, Jumdin the channel in Cairo, Bessadon, Tendain Zam, Taji Tango, look, Gomja,
the Chaninka Karatok,
Jola Menkele, Jolan Kepa, ah,
Kila Makena, then Karayong.
Jolman can Sangye Tomaratonda, Gomovican. Jolan Kitty up the Jolan Kepa Tumba Jumdin de Lamdu, Sanje Jumdin, the Jolan Kepa Jumdin, the Jolan Kelayate, Dev Donganjin Zike, Gantan Dev Korwake, Jua de Hakone, Pangshiba, Panglangshiba. Dev Nyande, Jua de Hakone, Drupiba, Teta Vedela, Jolatim Kepa Jumdin des. Then also Sosujo Tamaba Tamji, Drevet the mean the Dangak did Drevet the Chagam Madanga, Nahadonga, Sahado, Janjang, Lab Joy of some of Chunimadan, the Nachan Rodu, Tini Masomanda Chaya, the Ringra.
So it's important to understand how we abandon the obscurations and how the obscurations work. Because otherwise, if you don't know that, there's no point in really saying like I'm a meditator. it won't lead to any result. Like Milarepa was a meditator, and Gampopa was a great scholar and also a master of practice, a practitioner. And still he asked this question to Milarepa. Milarepa gave a very profound response. And even though he spent his time in a cave, through personal experience, he understood what these obscurations are and how they harm and how they are abandoned and so on. So because he gained an actual personal experience, he was able to give such like an unobstructed, clear answer. All the Buddhas have attained enlightenment because they were expert in causes. So now it's not enough to just say I'm a meditator and just stay there, but we also have to examine and reflect and be skilled in the causes, understanding the causes, because without that we cannot attain enlightenment. So being skilled, the Buddha being skilled in causes means that you realize that this cause leads to the result of suffering. It leads to, this is the cause of samsara. And knowing that, he knew how to abandon it. And he knew that this is the cause of the result to attain nirvana. And knowing that, he knew how to practice it, how to create that cause. So that is what it means to be skilled in, an expert in causes. Ordinarily, we don't think about the causes. We only recognize the result that is ripening, and then we say, oh, I'm sick, I'm in pain, without thinking about the causes. And so this is then like why we do not become like liberated.
All right. Now around so led up chibade. Led up zone do zo chihu nga zon sami ki le sa yo but tel tin ne tin palam la so ba ro tenza kyonke. Then the so cholam de so ni pang to ba de don zang lu da de so na mambo yore nimbo to yu gon tim tin teni xiapa chi du teni de so da so ma de mambo yore di jun sing cholam ka kap so de pang to go res teni da jolan ji kap so ti nyong da la so ba se par pang wa da se par pang wa zon de yang de da de pa che
Jolam la kare pang
jolan la nyong da pang re da nyong da pang thon lam la teni hide pangs chetang rama jo ta ter ba de teni ore I don't know in summary.
So then regarding the obscurations of karma, it mainly refers to the karma that leads to immediate retribution, that kind of karma that interrupts the noble path. So that becomes a cause of obscuration. And that is abandoned, in generally speaking now, in the general order, that is abandoned on the path of accumulation. That's, for example, explained in sutras like the Sutra of the Foolish and the Wise. And it explains, for instance, how we purify these karmic obscurations, for example, through relying on the four powers. So that's on the path of accumulation, and on the path of preparation or application, we generally abandon the obscurations of the afflictive emotions. And then on the path of seeing, we abandon the subtle obscurations to omniscience.
Tarang Jungze Kubaina, his debate. Kosan number to back jing de his deba song song ta hi go sambak. Then his draba pan do Numo draba pan to ya the ngaso go na sang dana. Pena method digana pa lo tene. Then hirab with sim patoni lo tendu. Then method arranging madaba to baina. Arranging madaba tela. Then ta ranging madaba yang da ba jik to baina. Then tela chakpa jen ma dang. Tela dangwa jen the naglo the ranging ke yarto ko kano ando je. Kano ando je chang go yoro. Tendu ko hyarzong de pangsong ando je chang go yoro. Teni yang his draba Pena Nyomo draba gwang cheba ina ta meton de gala chakpa sike mina yang dadin zib danzin yu chobare te yu balatine this siso teni yang ko tarati ta den meto os mena teni ten ya pondo du pondo semero denga meto ku meto la so ba gen zimba de ko ran hyuk ge yu de ban ro ji chakpa mina yang de ku meto re semero de dapo de re semero de so chama ge da dan de ken da was men zimba de ne do go yorwa de yin zang dang his de ba da nyumong ba de ba de ni ko pang kala na wo chani hi ba ina nyumong bu de ba de pang las his de ba de pang kares korani ke chara ji chon toni ya ba ina nyumong bu de ba de rakwaris his de ba de chawaris teni korani ke yol diptang ke chani se ba ina nyumong bu de ke tarpa la drugu yoris hijir drabate ke tamjin chimpa kumbang to bala drugu yoris tarak ton da tanawen sungdo
So regarding the subtle obscurations to omniscience, just before Maitreya had said, so any conception of the three spheres is held to be a subtle obscuration to omniscience. So, for example, let's take a flower as an example. You look at a flower. If you look at a flower with discriminating wisdom, then you realize that the flower lacks any inherent existence. So you realize the true nature of the flower, and therefore you will naturally not develop an attachment toward the flower or an aversion toward the flower. So these afflictions are naturally gone by realizing the subtle nature of the flower. And so in this sense, the obscuration of affliction is naturally gone through the realization of the subtle obscuration, the removal of the subtle obscuration to omniscience. And so if the subtle obscuration to omniscience is not removed and only the obscuration of the afflictions is removed, then it's a different scenario. So then you have that flower and you have removed the afflictive emotion, so you have no attachment to the flower. But still, even though you're not attached to the flower, there still is grasping at a self. There is perception of a self that perceives the flower, and you might perceive it as just there is a flower, or it is a nice flower, or in terms of ownership, it's my flower, or it's his flower. So there's this natural grasping, or some kind of thought with regard to the flower, even if it's not an actual attachment or aversion towards the flower, there still is a grasping. So this is what happens when the obscuration of affliction is removed, but there's still the subtle obscuration of omniscience, to omniscience. And so to compare those two obscurations, which one is more difficult to abandon? The obscuration of afflictions is abandoned easier. The subtle obscuration to omniscience is more difficult to abandon. In terms of subtlety, the afflictive emotions are more coarse, and the subtle obscuration to omniscience is more subtle. And then in terms of what they obscure, the obscuration of afflictions obscures liberation, and the subtle obscuration to omniscience obscures the state of omniscience, or the state of all-knowingness.
Oh, las. That's not Yagara.
Stop here.
Kamang Amason. Yagan Dixara.
So, yeah, we stop here.
Oh, Sunande Donja Zabanya Toani Berdana Banze Jigay Nanja Balon Dubaya Siban Zolan Drova Jamba Babe Jadaran Jamba Tangunda Zambo Dean Dejan Didai Gunja Jizo Dalo Jagavan Didai Danja Radongo Janjo Zenjo Rembo Ma Je Banan Je Je Ba Nyam Ba Me Ba Yang Kone Gondam Bewajo. May every being ailing with disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ina.
Thank you. Tashitele.
Thank you, Tashitele.
Thank you.